In today's episode of the Pathmonk Presents podcast, I got a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Mishaal Murawala, and he's hailing over from the folks over at MacroFab. And today we want to learn more about how they're, helping out engineers in driving electronics manufacturing forward. So today we want to deep dive into MacroFab. Mishaal, welcome to the show.
Lucas, thanks for having me on the show. Excited.
Of course, yeah. So maybe give people like a quick overview. What is MacroFab all about in your own words?
So MacroFab, we are a Houston-based company, Houston, Texas. We have an electronics manufacturing platform. We're changing the way people think about electronics manufacturing. There are a lot of traditional contract manufacturers who still continue to work in old ways, and MacroFab is revolutionizing how an organization, not just the engineers, actually work with their manufacturing partners.
Very good. Now, tell us maybe a little bit about a typical customer. Who's benefiting the most?
Our journey typically starts with an engineer in a company, right? So an electrical engineer, they have a PCB design that they have done. There are quite a few tools out there that people can use to design. Once they have the design ready, that's when an engineer comes to our website. They will sign up for the platform, upload their design, upload their BOM, the bill of material, and the journey starts over there, right? Instantly, the platform will be able to tell them if they can build the design, what components that they are expecting, are they in stock? If not, what alternative components are available? If nothing is available, we at least give them a lead time. Now it's up to the engineer, right? At that point, if they want to wait for as long as the lead time is, but the platform actually puts the engineer in the driver's seat. So they are the ones who actually can make a decision right away, whether they need to redesign or they can work with the current design the way it is. And so they are primarily the ones who actually start the journey with us. But now more and more we are seeing, with the whole reshoring and nearshoring picking up momentum in a lot of organizations, the supply chain procurement, manufacturing operations team, they are approaching us directly and trying to get our help in moving their entire manufacturing or a part of their manufacturing out of Asia into North America, right? So between US, Mexico, Canada, we have more than 100 factories at this point that are part of our network, and we help them move their manufacturing to North America.
Very cool. That sounds super interesting. Now, what would you describe as a journey of a typical customer? Like, what would be the channels that they would actually go through in order to get started with you guys?
That's generally a broad question for any marketer. Today, your customers are everywhere. They converge into a couple of places, right? Paid search still dominates the industry for a reason, right? Still, people need to go and do their research, so on and so forth. But that's not the starting point for a lot of engineers. I've been working with engineers for more than 10 years now. All the companies I've worked with, the clientele was engineers. It's a very common theme. Before engineer goes to Google and starts searching on something, they go to their peers for recommendations, right? So they heavily rely on peer networks, so be it forums. They have now we have Slack channels, we have all sorts of places where the engineers Reddit, right? That's a big discussion place where an engineer goes and they generally post a question over there, right? Like, what podcast do you listen to? What prototyping platform do you guys use? And people pitch in. Once they get the recommendation, is then they go to, say, a search engine and then search for that company if they don't know the company, and then continue with the journey. So it's a little bit difficult to really understand where everyone is. The convergence continues to be paid search. We still get quite a few of our conversions out of our paid search programs, but we are doing a lot of publisher ads. There are relevant watering holes for the engineers where people are going to go, right? They're going to be there. So we put our ads out there. We do a lot of webinars. So ultimately, that's one of the ways to bring them to our side, keep them with us, basically have a conversation. Now, webinars are not like product demos or sales calls. They are truly educational. So we have a really good feedback mechanism. People sign up. We have more than 50% people who sign up actually attend the webinar as well, which is pretty unheard of. But we do get a lot of people attending our webinar. So, but even for webinar promotion, we would go to publishing houses. That's where those are the newsletter that they are interested in. So yeah, most of our marketing today relies on publishers. Portion of it is social media, and then obviously paid search to kind of wrap up the conversions.
How do you think about the website though in this context? Like, what role does it play in the buyer's journey?
I mean, all roads lead to Rome, right? And Rome being the website. So no matter where they are, ultimately they have to make that journey. And as a marketer, I would want their journey to converge on the website as quickly as possible. It is not in a company's favor to continue to keep just running ads on all these third-party sites. We want our people to know our site so that the direct traffic, the organic traffic continues to grow. So the reliance is less on the paid channel. So website plays a big role, right? Like you promise a world in an ad, it intrigues them, they click on it. It's all about the website from that standpoint. So very important piece of a marketing engine.
Very good. Now, if we talk about the website for a little bit, like what would you consider sort of a strength of the website versus where do you see some room for improvement?
A MacroFab website specifically?
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of room for improvement, to be honest. I mean, we just launched on the new site in February of this year. We have a lot of new content. We have tried to make content searchable. We have added a lot of tags so people don't have to go through hundreds of blogs to find our relevant topics. So the content is a big piece of our strategy, and it's working really well. Our organic traffic is on an all-time high. Places where we could improve generally goes down to the conversion points. What are the different options we are offering people as a conversion point, right? Not everyone wants to sign up for your platform. Not everyone wants to talk to your sales rep. Not everyone wants to do a calendar, booking with a rep. So what else can they do on their own without getting bugged by someone from the company, right? So that's always a challenge, and we constantly keep talking about conversion points. Is like, what is it that we can have people do on our site where they don't fear, no, I'm going to get called, or I'm going to be a part of a mailing list. So that's an area that we can continue to improve in. That's an area of focus for us.
Okay, very good. So then let's switch gears a little bit, right? We talked about the website a bit. We talked about what you guys are doing now. What I am wondering is, how would a typical day of yours be looking like? How should we imagine a typical day of Mishaal?
A lot of conversations around, again, customers and are we fulfilling their needs, right? So we have to go back to the website, right? So we launched the website. Launching a website is basically a start of the journey, right? So you move from point A to point B, and then a new journey starts, right? So I take a look at all the content again, and I'm like, is this content really talking to people's pain points, or is this still MacroFab centric, right? So there is a lot of time I do end up spending going through our existing content, again, going through our conversion points, going through our production process, how we are producing content. So a lot of time is being spent on, doing and going back and questioning everything we have done just to make sure, we are moving towards our end goal, and that is to satisfy customer needs. Apart from all the technical stuff, right? Gazillion emails need to be responded to. Look at our pipeline. Is the pipeline growing with all the efforts we are making? So there is your typical health check from a GTM perspective. Are we growing the way we thought we were going to grow? But a lot of time goes into staying in the trenches and really figuring out if we have to move the needle with the limited time and budget that we all have, what are the most impactful things me and my team can work on that can move the needle.
Gotcha. Very cool. I got some rapid fire questions to wrap it up for today. Mishaal, are you ready for those? What is the last book that you read?
Oh gosh.
Or the last podcast you listened to?
A book is actually, there is I know it's rapid fire, but it's there was a first time CMO book that came out. Pretty kick-ass.
Very good. What's one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
Meeting and exceeding customer expectations.
If there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be one thing that you would want to have fixed for your role as a marketer if you got a magic wand?
Attribution.
Attribution. What is it about attribution? A lot of marketers say that. What is it that is missing for you?
I think it's not missing. It's just connecting the dots. I think we are in an age of data overload, and we need to sit back and really think how to connect the dots.
Makes a lot of sense. Very good, actually. Mishaal, very last question. If we would be doing a bit of time travel and we go back to the days of Case Western Reserve University, right? So you're heading out of formal education there. What's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey?
Be patient. Good things do come, and when the time is right, you will get what you want.
Very good, Mishaal. I really appreciate you joining us for the show today. I want to give you the very last word. If people would be forgetting all about MacroFab, what's the one thing they should remember?
We as a company are on a tough journey. Manufacturing is tough. It's a tough industry to be in. If you were to remember us for, we gave our best shot, and to revolutionize how manufacturing actually works.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathmonk Presents.
Appreciate you having me on the show. Thank you.